Yesterday I talked about the Eastern Conference standings rather, and my predictions. And today I'm going to talk about my Western Conference standings predictions. Like I said, very early, some, teams and rosters could change, but I'm going to give an early NBA standings prediction. So I'm going to go from 8 to 1 again. And let's see if you guys agree with me or disagree with me. So, kind of like yesterday, I am struggling with the 8 seed. I see two teams as a possibility to be the 8 seed. And I'll tell you why I have two teams in, that particular direction. So the first team that I believe that could potentially be a surprise is the Portland Trailblazers. I am not sure that they're going to be the 8th seed. I definitely feel like they're going to be like 9 or 10 at the minimum. I feel like they're putting some things together over there, and I feel like, they're doing some good things over there. I love the pickup of Drew Holiday. Dame is obviously not going to be playing, but he's going to be coaching everybody up. Shaden Sharp, another year better. I talked about Denny Avdia maybe like a few weeks ago or a month ago or something. And I was like, if you didn't watch Denny Avdia last year, he had a really good year. So, his trajectory is to play even better. And he was, I don't remember what pick he was, but he was, 9 or something? He was a lottery pick. So I like what Portland is doing over there. I think Drew Holiday is a very crucial addition. And so I'm debating whether they are the 8th seed, and I think I'm going to put them as the 8th seed. I know that may be controversial, that may surprise some people, but I am going to put the Portland Trailblazers as the 8th seed. The other team I was debating was the Memphis Grizzlies. I just feel like losing Desmond Bane, they lost Jake LaRavia, Jaren Jackson Jr. just had toe surgery. I don't know if he's going to be back to start the regular season. I am just not too high on the Grizzlies this year. And so I wouldn't be shocked if they pulled it off and made the 8th seed. But I am going to go with the surprise team of the Western Conference, the Portland Trailblazers, being the 8th seed. So let me go to the 7th seed. And I think that's going to be the San Antonio Spurs. As long as Victor Wembanyama stays healthy, of course. I like Stephon Castle. I like Devin Vassell. Obviously De'Aaron Fox is there and he should be healthy. Victor Wembanyama, goes without saying. I will say they do have a bit of redundancy in terms of De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, and now Dylan Harper. But it's never a bad thing to have too many talented guards. It's just, I don't know how they can all fit into the rotation, of course. And Dylan Harper may not be in the rotation at first anyway. Even though he's a number 2 pick and that's hard to not put him in the rotation, I don't know. I'm not sure what they're going to do. But I think the Spurs will be the 7th seed. And that obviously is a play-in spot, but I think they should make the playoffs. The 6th seed, I'm trying to remember who I picked in my head. The 6th seed, I think, is going to be the Clippers. I think the Clippers, of course, talented up and down the roster as we talk about every year. You can't say anything bad about the players that they added to the team. It's all good players, no matter every single year, But I I can't say Kawhi is going to play 82 games. I can't even say Kawhi is going to play 60 games. I hope he does, but I don't know. So, yes, I like their roster. I think they're talented. I just feel like because they are, I know people have been putting this label on them, and I don't want to put this label on them because I don't feel like older teams quantifies like that you're not good anymore. Because I know a lot of people have been giving them that label because obviously they have Chris Paul back, who's 40, and Bradley Beal, who's past his prime. But I like the roster. I think they're good enough to be the 6th seed. I think, some of those players on the roster are going to have days where, they're resting and they're not playing. I know that's technically not supposed to happen and that's not technically allowed. You're not supposed to do, load management, so to speak, except for, Kawhi has these knee things. So, like, he might be on the, the injury report because of some knee stuff. So I'm not saying they should be load managing. I'm not saying that's right to the fans. I'm just saying I do think there will be some load management in there. And so I do think the Clippers will still be the 6th seed. And then, sorry again, my jaw. I don't want to keep reminding you, but that's why I'm trying to breathe in between, slow down. It's getting better every day though. I definitely feel it like better today. Number 5. I have the Lakers. I am not super high on the Lakers roster in terms of like, winning a championship, and I don't know if they're going to make the Western Conference Finals. I don't know how far they're going to go in the playoffs. I do think that they're motivated in this regular season to be a top 6 team at the minimum. I think Luka's motivated. I think LeBron's motivated. I think everybody's going to play decently well together, for the regular season at least. And, when you have players like Luka and LeBron, they're just so good. Especially, Luka, LeBron, because obviously he's 40, it's a little bit different. But they're just so good that they can just win you games sometimes in the regular season, when teams aren't always like going all out. So I think the Lakers are going to end up being the number 5 seed. Number 4, I'm going with the Warriors. I think the Warriors are better than people are giving them credit for. I talked about this multiple times. I picked them to go to the NBA Finals last year, had they been healthy. Obviously, that didn't happen. So, they did not end up in the NBA Finals. But I think the Warriors will be the number 4 seed. I think Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond, similar to the Lakers, LeBron and Luka, I think they're motivated, and I think the whole roster is motivated. And I think they have enough, young talent on the roster, just because, again, I know people are going to say, but they're older. And Steph and Jimmy and Draymond might have some rest days in there. And that's probably true. But they have enough young guys on the roster to, take a bunch of minutes, like Brandon Pajemski, Moses Moody. We'll see. They're supposedly getting Al Horford and D'Anthony Melton, which would be 2 nice additions to the team. So if they can get those 2, that would be great for them. And then obviously the Jonathan Kuminga situation is a huge question mark because Jonathan Kuminga himself is a really good player. So he obviously can help them. And if they trade him, they're going to probably get a valuable player back. So they are hard to determine because they are not a complete roster yet. But I have them as the 4 seed. And then the number 3 seed, I have the Denver Nuggets. I think Denver is going to be the 3 seed. I like the addition of Bruce Brown. I like Valanciunas. I know there were some question marks, around, him joining the team and stuff like that, but I like the addition of Valanciunas. I think I think they got better. I think they got more depth. Now, I know some people will say they're going to miss Russell Westbrook. I don't disagree with that. I personally like the swap of Michael Porter Jr. with Cam Johnson. Me personally, like I just feel like Michael Porter Jr. It was not that he was a bad fit there. Like he had his really good moments, and he obviously helped that team win a championship. But I also felt like towards the end of his tenure, it started to not be the best fit. So I think they're going to be the 3 seed. I think Jokic is going to, do great things as he does every year. And then the number 2 seed. I think it's going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder. I know a lot of people will say OKC is going to be number 1, but I don't think so. I think OKC is coming off a championship, and they're so talented and good that they're obviously going to win a bunch of games. But I think they're going to be coasting a little bit because they don't need the number 1 seed, like it'd be nice to have, but they don't need it, right? Like they can win on the road, and they've already been there, done that. So in my opinion, I feel like their mindset is going to be like, there's no point in like pushing ourselves to potentially get injured just to get the number 1 seed. Obviously, they're still going to be good, but And then the number 1 seed, if you didn't guess it already, obviously I didn't say the team. The number 1 seed, in my opinion, is the Houston Rockets. I talked about this on a live stream, I don't know, maybe like a week ago, maybe a little less. And I said, in that live stream, I said the Houston Rockets are going to be the number 1 seed. I think they're going for it. I think they're hungry, motivated for that number 1 seed. I think it matters to them. I think they really want home court advantage throughout the playoffs. I think they are going for the number 1 seed. And obviously they're a talented roster. Adding KD, Torian Finney-Smith, Clint Capella. They got a nice mix of veterans and young guys. So I think Houston is going to be the number 1 seed in the West. I really think they're going for it. So thank you guys so much for watching this live stream. I hope you enjoyed, and see you soon.